Dear friend, are you planning to do PhD in English? Are you the one who is pursuing PhD at present? Are you struck while you are writing your thesis? Are you struggling to write without errors? Are you really satisfied with your progress in research? If you have any of these issues, certainly we can train you to complete your PhD thesis just in 1 year, provided you listen to us. How? Whom can we help? If you are a scholar of English literature, we can help you 100%. If you are an other major scholar, we can assist you 80%. Is completing a PhD degree really difficult? According to us, most of the problems faced by the researchers are stupid, but the problems become more complicated and difficult to resolve because of a poor strategy and lack of guidance. If the students have good guidance and nice strategies, completing a PhD within 1 year is very easy. First, let me share with you an interesting short story. Once upon a time, there was a priest. He had 40 disciples. Once he had to travel to a nearby village, which is about 10 kilometers away. The priest had to transport 35 coconuts also. At that time, there was no vehicle, so they had to take all the 35 by hand. The priest believes in equality, so he calculated the number of disciples, distance to be covered, and the number of coconuts to be transported. After a precise calculation, he asked the disciples to bring a large sack and tie all the coconuts together in the sack. He instructed that everyone should carry the load 1/4 of a kilometer. Hence, the work will be shared equally and it will not be a burden to anyone. As per the instruction, the coconuts are tied in a sack. When the first one tried to lift it, he couldn't. So the others helped him. They lifted the sack together and kept the sack on his head. He carried the load with great difficulty and put down and but in spite of that the load was mounted on his head again. Finally, with great difficulty, the entire group reached their destination. In this process, many disciples lost their health. Someone broke the neck, someone broke the back, someone broke the toe, this and that. Dear friends, here the thinking of sharing the work is absolutely right, but the strategy is terribly wrong. Instead of making the load as one sack, if all the individual coconuts are distributed to each, the work would have been very easy and even 5% would have come empty handed. This is how many students find it very hard to complete PhD on time. Though they have knowledge, though they have hard working capacity, because of the wrong strategy and lack of guidance, the students find it hard to do their research and complete it on time. I agree with you that there are many problems around PhD. The length is one of the important problems. Within the stipulated time, 2 years, 3 years, you have to complete the research. If you fail to meet the deadline, there will be two issues. Number one, loss of monetary benefits. You have to pay one more year of research fee, then the time will be lost. Second, mostly you are doing it for career advancement and getting a job. So when you take one more year, there will be thousands of people in the job market for your competition. So completing the research on time is very important. Then finding a research guide of your interests with the same wavelength is very, very difficult. Even if you find a guide, then afterwards finalizing the topic is the Herculean task. Who will be my author? How many works I am going to choose? What about the availability of primary and secondary sources? So where to work, where to collect, all these things are to be finalized. So this is the depressing thing. Then the most important thing comes. That is how to balance work, family, research. All the three things are very, very important aspects of the individual's life. Of course, you may be working in a private institution where the work is more than the salary that you get. Then family. So it is for the family that you are toiling hard with the same partner, children, relatives. You have to travel throughout your life. So you cannot forgo your responsibilities as a family person. Then the research. So if you need a good employment, if you need career advancement, you need to do this research on time. But research nature is, unless you pay much attention, you cannot do the research properly. Then apart from all these things, when you find a guide, find a topic, when you sit and write, sometimes the researchers used to feel. The researcher may think that he has or she has so many ideas. He or she is very systematic. When students sit and write, no sentence comes out. Students used to share. Hours together, I sit in front of the computer, but no sentence comes out of my mind, though I have lots of ideas. This state is called writer's block. It is a psychological fact. So, slowly, there are some techniques to overcome this writer's block. As a result, your research will start like a running stream. Whatever may be, you may be in any one of these stages. Either you may plan to do PhD with all the enthusiasm, or you may have language issues. Whatever you write, if if you submit to your research guide, the research guide may say, "Why are you writing with so many problems, so many grammatical errors? Go and improve your language first." Otherwise, when you start writing, you may not know where to begin. Somewhere you may get stuck. So you can be in any of these three stages. Dear friends, considering the practical difficulties of the students, we have designed this thesis writing course to help the research scholars. The thesis writing course consists of three modules. Module 1, planning the thesis. Module 2, strengthening the basics. Module 3, drafting the thesis. It is said, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So the researcher has to do some pre-research activities so that the research will be systematic and effective. Module 1 consists of the following topics. Introduction to research, which traces what are the important things you have to do before the research, the purpose of research, for which purpose you are doing the research, then types of research, selection of the topic. So this is the most important thing to be done ahead of the research. Then literature survey. If you want to establish your research new nature, you have to do literature survey effectively. Then what are the things to begin the writing, especially the introductory part. Then some of the note making strategies. These important pre-research activities are discussed in the module 1. Module 2, strengthening the basics. Whatever may be your research ideas, unless your language writing skill is strong, you cannot write the thesis properly. So this particular module concentrates on the grammatical elements you need to research properly. For example, the basic things, parts of speech, tenses, subject verb agreement, active passive voices, kinds of sentences, cohesive markers, specific reference to research, useful words and phrases for research, redundancy, error correction, paragraph writing strategies. All these things are discussed in the second module. Please remember this particular module is based on so many exercises to sharpen your writing skills. Then once you develop the planning, once you develop your language skills, then you need to go for the drafting of your thesis. So the module 3 includes the specific topics of structuring a thesis, chapterization, format of the research paper, writing introduction, writing core chapters and conclusions, the mechanics of writing, that is the format, the use of quotations, problems to be faced at different levels of research writing, work cited, because at the end of research, so work cited is scrutinized. Even a few mistakes in the work cited may cause the return of your thesis without evaluation. So work cited, sampling, this is specific to ELT research. So the module 3 gives a very good orientation to English literature students about the structure of their thesis and the important stages, important techniques to be adopted regarding the writing of the thesis. This course is about 30 years. There are different videos about it, writing strategies, and one more thing, we will give opportunity to talk to one of the experts for consultation once. When you give your topic, basic information, so we'll respond to you with the necessary details that you need. Then the topic, progress, specific difficulty, anything you can clarify at this level. Dear friends, this course is designed to help the students, especially research scholars in English, when they face difficulties before the research, during the research, then at the end of the research. From topic selection to defending the thesis, we have given you orientation and we have given you training in different aspects. Dear friends, if you want to develop your research mind, if you want to sharpen your research writing skills, if you want to complete your PhD thesis within the stipulated time, to join us, please call 6381458485. Thank you. All the best.